Some machines earn attention not through loud claims but through the way their shape, sound, and purpose whisper a promise of adventure. They pull you in with the sense that a single drive could shift your entire idea of what a classic sports car can feel like. Imagine a vehicle born in an era of rapid change, shaped by careful craftsmanship, subtle confidence, and a focus on balance that still feels refreshing today. A machine that delivers style without shouting and performance without posturing. Think of the kind of design that stops time for a moment. The kind that hints at a story deeper than the sheet metal. The kind that leaves you wanting to know who created it, why it was shaped the way it was, and how it carried its reputation across generations. This is the journey we are about to take as we dig into its origins, its engineering choices, and its lasting cultural imprint. If you enjoy deep dives like this, remember to like, subscribe, and comment the next topic you want explored. The 1967 Volvo P1800 enters this story as a study in focused ambition. Its design, engineering, and cultural presence show how a manufacturer known primarily for sensible transportation decided to craft something far more expressive while still honoring its commitment to durability and practicality. The 1967 Volvo P1800 was never intended to be an exotic showcase. Instead, it sought to prove that a stylish Grand Touring coupe could emerge from a mindset rooted in steady refinement rather than excess, and that idea shaped every element of its creation. The 1967 Volvo P1800 arrived during a moment when many drivers wanted elegance that felt accessible. Not everyone needed the flash of a rival or the extravagance offered by another manufacturer, and this restraint helped the car stand out. As the 1967 Volvo P1800 took form, its proportions revealed an approach grounded in traditional craftsmanship. Early production had relied on bodies assembled outside the company, but by 1967 Volvo had tightened control over build quality, creating a vehicle with clean lines, modest chrome, and a confident stance that still looks composed today. The 1967 Volvo P1800 carried a long hood relative to its compact cabin, giving it the presence of a touring car without chasing overly aggressive cues. This balance helped it gain admirers who appreciated style rooted in function. Under its skin, the 1967 Volvo P1800 used a robust four-cylinder engine with a focus on reliability and consistent performance. While not designed to overwhelm with raw acceleration, it delivered an engaging driving experience based on smooth torque and steady power delivery. The 1967 Volvo P1800 made use of a capable suspension setup tuned for comfort and control rather than extreme cornering limits. This allowed the car to behave predictably at speed, and that stability became central to its reputation. Braking hardware on the 1967 Volvo P1800 reflected the era but emphasized reliability. The system provided the stopping confidence a driver expected from a touring coupe built to cover long distances without fuss. Inside, the 1967 Volvo P1800 demonstrated a blend of Scandinavian restraint and mid-century charm. The materials were chosen to hold up under repeated use, and the layout placed essential controls within easy reach, making the car feel more intuitive than many of its contemporaries. The cabin of the 1967 Volvo P1800 also delivered a sense of intimacy. The low seating position, compact door cards, and narrow pillars allowed the driver to feel connected to the exterior lines, enhancing the impression of piloting a unified design rather than a collection of separate elements. Build quality on the 1967 Volvo P1800 earned admiration over time. Owners discovered that the car maintained its integrity under demanding conditions, which helped solidify its reputation as a dependable long-term companion. This long-lasting construction also meant that the 1967 Volvo P1800 resisted the wear patterns that often aged other sporty coupes quickly. Paint seams held up, metalwork stayed aligned, and interior pieces retained their structure far longer than expected. For many drivers, the 1967 Volvo P1800 represented the idea that a stylish car could still be practical enough for regular use. It did not force owners to treat it as a fragile collectible. When evaluating the 1967 Volvo P1800, one finds that its sense of proportion and its focus on durability helped it carve out a unique place. It offered a vision of sporty motoring that did not compromise the brand's core values. The 1967 Volvo P1800 also benefited from the clarity of its purpose. It was not trying to be a high-performance machine, nor was it attempting to imitate the personality of a rival. and this honesty made it more appealing to a wide range of drivers. The visual identity of the 1967 Volvo P1800 allowed it to be recognized immediately. The grille, the slim profile, and the side contours formed a cohesive look that still resonates with enthusiasts. Even at rest, the 1967 Volvo P1800 projected a sense of motion and lightness. Its shape captured the optimism of the period while avoiding extravagance. When enthusiasts examine a surviving 1967 Volvo P1800 today, they often notice how well its lines have aged. The form remains relevant because it favored balance instead of extreme styling experiments. The presence of the 1967 Volvo P1800 in popular culture helped amplify its appeal. Although not conceived as a screen car, its appearance in entertainment reinforced its image as a confident yet approachable grand tourer. Owners of the 1967 Volvo P1800 often emphasize that the car encourages long drives. Its blend of relative efficiency, steady road manners, and supportive seating reflects a thoughtful approach to real-world enjoyment. There is also a consistency to the 1967 Volvo P1800 that becomes apparent with time. No single aspect overshadows the others, and this equilibrium becomes part of its charm. The car's engine note, while restrained, contributes to its identity. It provides a pleasant soundtrack that complements the touring experience without dominating it. When exploring the historical context behind the 1967 Volvo P1800, it becomes clear that its creation aligned with a moment when many drivers wanted something personal yet dependable. This environment allowed the model to thrive. The longevity of many surviving examples of the 1967 Volvo P1800 supports the notion that its engineering priorities were sound. Components were built to last and wear points were managed thoughtfully. Because of this resilience, the 1967 Volvo P1800 became an appealing candidate for restoration. Owners could invest confidently knowing the underlying structure remained trustworthy. The story of the 1967 Volvo P1800 also includes the subtle evolution that took place year to year. By 1967, production refinements had reached a point where the model could be considered mature, with design and mechanical decisions fully realized. When viewed alongside modern standards, the 1967 Volvo P1800 still holds its own as an example of clarity in automotive design. Its straightforward engineering allows enthusiasts to appreciate its mechanics without needing advanced diagnostic tools. The appeal of the 1967 Volvo P1800 is not tied to raw output. Instead, it thrives on the experience it gives the driver, a quality often overlooked in discussions of sporty coupes. Many owners recount that the 1967 Volvo P1800 fosters confidence. Its predictable responses make it suitable for both casual weekend drives and more ambitious road trips. The practicality engineered into the 1967 Volvo P1800 makes it an unusual presence in collectible circles. It does not require delicate treatment or specialized environments to remain enjoyable. This durability helped the 1967 Volvo P1800 gain a reputation for being an approachable classic. Enthusiasts could experience vintage motoring without excessive maintenance demands. While its specifications were modest compared to the extremes pursued by another manufacturer of the era, the 1967 Volvo P1800 offered something else entirely: a steady and refined grand touring experience accessible to a broad audience. The car's enduring appeal rests in this balance of beauty, function, and reliability, and the 1967 Volvo P1800 continues to serve as a reminder that thoughtful design can transcend shifting trends. The 1966 Citroën Ami 6 stands at the midpoint of its era as both an outlier and a reflection of deep-seated priorities within French automotive thinking. To understand its trajectory, we explore the forces that shaped its engineering decisions, customer reception, and long-term identity. The 1966 Citroën Ami 6 relied on a platform derived from earlier minimalist roots, but it wrapped that heritage in a shell designed to solve practical needs with confidence. The reverse rake rear window became its most visible feature, yet the decision came from the goal of keeping the glass clean in rain while preserving luggage access, allowing the car to serve families who needed dependable visibility in unpredictable climates. As road networks improved and commuting habits changed, the Ami 6 had to balance efficiency with more demanding expectations. The air-cooled engine delivered modest horsepower, but its lightweight allowed it to keep pace with everyday traffic while maintaining low fuel consumption that resonated with budget-conscious households facing rising living costs. Owners of the 1966 Citroën Ami 6 often emphasized how the ride softened rough terrain. The interconnected suspension behaved like a system tuned to absorb roadway irregularities instead of transmitting them to passengers, which helped rural drivers travel long distances without fatigue. This smoothness contrasted sharply with the firmer suspensions used by a rival that targeted performance-minded buyers. The Ami 6 stayed faithful to comfort as a guiding principle, reinforcing the idea that serenity could be engineered even into a low-cost car. The 1966 Citroën Ami 6 also expressed a design philosophy that did not view straight lines and symmetry as mandatory. The headlamp arrangement, the unusual angles of the body panels, and the tall greenhouse gave the vehicle an almost architectural presence, like a compact building shaped by airflow, ergonomics, and cost constraints. During this period, France cultivated a national reputation for embracing identity in industrial design. Everyday products were encouraged to show personality, and the Ami 6 fit neatly into that cultural current by proving that utility could come wrapped in whimsy. The 1966 Citroën Ami 6 interiors showed how thoughtful decisions could stretch a limited budget. The lightweight seats, simple floor coverings, and accessible controls helped drivers feel comfortable without relying on expensive materials. And the airy cabin made long trips less confining than in low-roof competitors. Even more impressive was how the car handled maintenance. It used minimal fluids, small quantities of consumables, and straightforward service points, allowing owners to handle routine care with basic tools rather than frequent dealer visits. The 1966 Citroën Ami 6 quickly became a symbol of freedom for younger drivers and students who valued mobility but needed something reliable and inexpensive. The running costs were predictably low, and the car tolerated regular use in villages, towns, and cities without excessive strain. Meanwhile, families appreciated the cargo flexibility. The tall roof and flat loading area accommodated groceries, tools, school bags, and luggage in ways that larger but lower-slung sedans sometimes struggled to match. The 1966 Citroën Ami 6 also sparked discussion among enthusiasts and critics who debated whether its unusual silhouette represented courage or indulgence. Some argued that the eccentric form limited its mass appeal, while others saw it as a refreshing alternative to the uniformity growing elsewhere. This debate extended to ergonomics. The tall cabin improved comfort but created wind sensitivity at higher speeds, requiring careful tuning to ensure stability and confidence in crosswinds. Engineers responded by refining suspension geometry, damping, and body bracing, giving the 1966 Citroën Ami 6 a planted feel that surprised testers familiar with its modest specifications. The car also had to handle evolving safety expectations. While safety standards were still developing, Citroën used strong structural elements and predictable handling responses to enhance driver confidence, making the Ami 6 feel secure even on narrow rural roads. The 1966 Citroën Ami 6 cultivated a loyal following among commuters who drove long distances every day. Its fuel efficiency, relaxed ride, and dependable startup behavior made it a companion more than a machine. In contrast, drivers from regions with more expressway travel sometimes wished for more power, yet many accepted the trade-off because the car excelled in the environments where most people actually drove. As markets changed, the 1966 Citroën Ami 6 adapted with trim variations that added features without altering its core identity. Modest visual updates, new colors, and improved materials helped keep the car appealing while preserving its familiar form. Dealers understood that the Ami 6 attracted buyers who valued honesty and efficiency over status. The sales approach highlighted comfort, accessibility, and charm instead of trying to make the car appear more premium than intended. The 1966 Citroën Ami 6 also reflected a broader shift toward lighter vehicles aimed at reducing running costs and improving real-world usability. Its engineering choices signaled an early recognition that compact, efficient cars could meet daily needs without feeling compromised. Its ownership experience taught drivers that enjoyment did not require high-speed capability. The pleasure came from the smoothness of the suspension, the clarity of outward visibility, and the sense that the car belonged in both countryside and city environments. The 1966 Citroën Ami 6 maintained its unique presence through calm consistency. It never tried to chase trends or imitate another manufacturer, which helped solidify its status as a car defined by purpose rather than fashion. Over time, the public perception shifted as nostalgia and appreciation grew. What once seemed odd began to feel authentic, and the AMI 6 gained new admirers who valued its individuality and engineering honesty. The 1966 Citroën AMI 6 remains a study in how unconventional ideas become enduring when executed with conviction. Every angle, detail, and choice told a story about solving problems through creativity rather than conformity. This segment of its history shows how practicality and personality can coexist in a single machine. The AMI 6 proved that even modest cars can leave strong impressions when they express clear priorities. The 1966 Citroën AMI 6 enters its later chapter with a reputation shaped by time, memory, and the evolving expectations of drivers. What once appeared eccentric now reveals itself as a carefully tuned response to the challenges of its era. To understand how the 1966 Citroën AMI 6 gained durability in public perception, we begin with the reality that cars surviving their initial purpose often gain new meanings. The AMI 6 transitioned from an affordable family car into a symbol of France's affection for practical charm, resilient engineering, and confidence in creative solutions. In daily use, the 1966 Citroën AMI 6 offered comfort, thrift, and predictability. These traits allowed it to remain competitive through changing market conditions that demanded reliability as urbanization accelerated, incomes shifted, and commuting distances grew. Owners developed strong attachments to their AMI 6 vehicles because they provided stability in a world that was becoming more demanding. The car asked little of its drivers while delivering a sense of calm mobility, which helped shape its legacy as a dependable partner rather than a disposable product. By exploring the life cycle of the 1966 Citroën AMI 6, we see how consistent serviceability and simple upkeep contributed to long-term trust. These strengths gave the car value long after its specification sheet seemed outdated. The 1966 Citroën AMI 6 endured because it met essential needs without requiring complex care. Its modest engine produced safe, steady acceleration, and the lightweight construction helped owners cover long distances with minimal fuel use. Even as newer vehicles adopted more advanced features, the AMI 6 maintained its appeal through clarity of purpose. It never pretended to be fast or upscale, yet it delivered comfort and ease of use at a level that remained competitive. The 1966 Citroën AMI 6 was especially popular among tradespeople and rural families who needed transportation that could handle rough surfaces without stressing components. The interconnected suspension provided stable motion over inconsistent road textures, which kept fatigue low and confidence high. This durability mattered more each year as many European regions still lacked fully paved roads. The AMI SX's ability to navigate imperfect surfaces gave it a clear advantage in the lives of people who relied on their cars for work and travel. The 1966 Citroën AMI 6 became associated with reliability not because it was indestructible but because it was understandable. Its mechanical layout allowed owners to perform maintenance with simple tools, avoiding unnecessary downtime or expenses. Cultural significance accumulated as the 1966 Citroën AMI 6 aged. Its shape, once misunderstood, became a recognizable artifact of a specific moment in French industrial creativity that valued originality over imitation. Enthusiasts discovered the car's charm during periods when nostalgia grew. Vintage rallies, weekend gatherings, and regional festivals began to feature the AMI 6 as a beloved icon of mid-century optimism. The 1966 Citroën AMI 6 also benefited from a design language that invited affection. The tall headlamps, sweeping roofline, and playful stance made it memorable in a way that resonated with collectors seeking vehicles that possessed personality. While some cars from the 1960s blended into history, the AMI 6 stood apart through bold stylistic elements that expressed confidence rather than extravagance. Owners appreciated that the car looked friendly, distinctive, and approachable. Over time, these traits inspired a new wave of appreciation among drivers who valued authenticity more than trend compliance. The 1966 Citroën AMI 6 embodied that authenticity by staying true to its original intent. The practical advantages of the 1966 Citroën AMI 6 continued to emerge throughout its lifespan. Its cabin configuration allowed for flexible seating arrangements, and the roof height made the interior feel open even for taller passengers. This sense of generosity inside a compact footprint became a hallmark trait. Families found that the AMI 6 could accommodate daily tasks such as school pickups, grocery runs, and weekend trips without feeling cramped. The car also provided impressive visibility due to the upright windshield and large side windows. Drivers often commented on how easy it felt to judge distances, navigate tight streets and park in crowded areas. The 1966 Citroën Ami 6 maintained composure in traffic because its light controls and balanced steering encouraged a relaxed driving rhythm. Owners often described their time behind the wheel as calm rather than demanding. This characteristic became increasingly important as cities grew more congested. The Ami 6 offered stress reduction through engineering simplicity, reinforcing its reputation for comfort across diverse environments. The rising interest in classic vehicles gave the 1966 Citroën Ami 6 a new role. It became a collectible model not for its performance but for its uniqueness and ability to tell a story about an era when creativity guided problem-solving. Restoration communities emerged around the Ami 6, valuing its accessible parts, straightforward mechanical layout and expressive styling. These communities helped preserve the car's heritage through shared knowledge and support networks. The 1966 Citroën Ami 6 benefited from this renewed attention. Spare parts remained available because the vehicle's components were shared with other models, helping keep restoration costs reasonable for hobbyists. As collectors continued to highlight the Ami 6 in exhibitions and public events, the car's reputation grew beyond a simple economy vehicle. It became an example of how thoughtful design could produce charm that outlasted conventional trends. The 1966 Citroën Ami 6 demonstrated that individuality can become a strength when history reflects on authenticity and intention. This growing respect elevated the 1966 Citroën Ami 6 from a once modest family sedan to an enduring symbol of innovation through constraint. It showed that even limited budgets can produce meaningful solutions when guided by clear priorities. The car's engineering team focused on stability, comfort, and efficiency because these qualities served real-world needs. Their success proved that careful design can deliver results that remain relevant across decades. As environmental awareness increased in later years, enthusiasts also noted the Ami SAX's low weight and efficient engine as forward-thinking traits that aligned with evolving sustainability values. The car consumed less fuel than many larger contemporaries, proving that smaller vehicles could support daily life without excessive resources. The 1966 Citroën Ami 6 aligned naturally with modern appreciation for lighter, simpler transportation options. Its long lifespan offered a reference point for discussions about sustainable design and resource-conscious engineering. The emotional connection drivers formed with the 1966 Citroën Ami 6 helped secure its place in automotive memory. Owners recalled long trips through scenic countryside, daily routes to work or school, and the sense of calm the car provided during unpredictable weather and road conditions. This connection was strengthened by the car's approachable personality. Its welcoming shape, comfortable ride, and intuitive controls made it feel like a partner rather than a tool. The 1967 Volvo P1800 stands as a reminder that enduring appeal grows from consistency, clarity, and balance. Its story illustrates how a well-executed concept can remain relevant across decades without relying on extremes or spectacle. The 1967 Volvo P1800 represents a blend of timeless proportions, reliable engineering, and carefully measured performance. This combination shaped a grand touring coupe that still resonates with enthusiasts who value authenticity. The 1967 Volvo P1800 earned its reputation by committing to practical excellence. Its creators chose durability, approachable mechanics, and refined road manners over dramatic styling trends or high-output tuning, resulting in a car that rewards steady use and long-term stewardship. The 1967 Volvo P1800 also offered a comfortable cabin, predictable behavior, and a chassis capable of handling varied conditions. These qualities made it adaptable to both daily driving and long-distance travel, an uncommon trait among sporty coupes of its era. The model's survival into the modern era reflects how thoroughly its foundations were engineered. Many examples remain roadworthy, proving that thoughtful construction can extend a vehicle's life far beyond expectations. Ownership stories further highlight the character of the 1967 Volvo P1800. Drivers often note how it encourages confidence, builds trust through mechanical honesty, and offers a driving experience rooted in connection rather than isolation. The 1967 Volvo P1800 responds to skilled maintenance with long service life. Its engine, gearbox, and chassis components were designed to manage high-load scenarios and varied climates with steady efficiency. Restorers appreciate how the 1967 Volvo P1800 supports careful preservation. Its straightforward architecture, strong community knowledge base, and availability of replacement parts make it an accessible project for both experienced technicians and newcomers to vintage motoring. Collectors value the 1967 Volvo P1800 for its rising recognition and stable ownership experience. The car provides more usability than many classics, allowing enthusiasts to enjoy regular drives without excessive upkeep demands. Culturally, the 1967 Volvo P1800 benefited from its presence in entertainment and its confident visual identity. Its appearance contributed to a sense of refined charm that continues to attract admirers. The model remains distinct because it expresses style with subtlety. The 1967 Volvo P1800 avoids exaggerated cues and instead relies on proportion, simplicity, and detail to communicate character. Market interest reflects this lasting appeal. Well-restored examples of the 1967 Volvo P1800 consistently draw attention at events and sales venues, supported by the car's strong reputation for longevity. The legacy of the 1967 Volvo P1800 endures because it demonstrates how a unified design philosophy can transcend changing trends. It reminds us that craftsmanship, usability, and balanced engineering remain timeless values.